and welcome to our Job Track interview series. I am Gail Ecker, Director of Equine Guelph, and we welcome you as we learn more about jobs in the horse industry. Today, I am joined by Cameron Lago to talk about his career pathway in the horse industry. Starting from a summer camp to a position where you now wear many hats, you've been in this industry for several years, 11 years, I believe you said. So, Cameron, what sparked your interest in the racing sector?
To be honest, it all started with my grandfather. He, as a retirement project, got some brood mares just around our home farm, and he wanted to breed the winning racehorse. And that then led me into looking into different opportunities within the harness racing industry. And at that age, it was the Ontario Harness Racing Association had the youth camp out. That you had to write a little essay and send it off and explain why you wanted to be a part of their youth camp, which gave you a week of in-depth training and get to be side by side by some of the top drivers and trainers of the industry at the time. So the OHA Youth Camp really sparked my interest, which was a great stepping stone for me along the way.
Now, you said you used to ride your bicycle to the track. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we being located just on by Highway 6 and 401 is the location of our home farm. It's kind of in the hot spot, if you will, of the Canadian and Ontario harness racing. So there's many different training centers around, like Aikinsville or in Classy Lane. So it's all, when I was 12 years old, there wasn't going to be, mom and dad wasn't going to drive me all the way down to the training center at ungodly hours during the day. So it was just up to me and my bike. So I often went down to Aikinsville Training Center and trained horses and just got to be in the barn, really. Just keep sparking that interest and keep learning from very suitable mentors at the time, which really hinged my ability to get in. And also being located in the area allowed me to be immune to all these different people and all these great leaders in the harness racing industry being situated where I was. So that really opened up a lot of doors for me, just even one bicycle ride away, which was really neat opportunity.
Since then, it seems you knew this was the right fit for you. You've developed your own career pathway quite strategically. So, what are the roles you've played in the industry and where are you now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I started out, so my grandfather and I, we were breeding horses at the time. We had brood mares at home. And the breeding and genetic aspect of it was really a true passion of mine. I've always had a passion for breeding animals and really choosing and at the end of the day, making a world champion is always the goal as of anyone else's. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of all started with that. Then that led me into us having our own yearlings that we mostly sold. And then as I grew older and older, I finally convinced my grandfather that we should be training our own horses, which then led me into finding a trainer, which we ended up using Rena Aquila as a trainer, which hinged a lot. So that opened up a lot of doors to being a groom and learning all the groom aspects of the industry, like blacksmithing and all the different training procedures. So overall, being a groom really moved me towards where I am today. So that helped quite a bit. And now today we have 5 brood mares up on a breeding farm that I manage, and then I also train horses and manage some other breeding farms for some other producers.
Now, you mentioned you've got some great mentors that you've had along the way. Who are some of those people and what were the special things you learned?
It's definitely an easy one that comes to the top. It's Rena Aquila. Just having that, I guess she was just along in my life at the right time. Right when I was in high school, I went to her barn every morning and night. We trained horses, and between Irina herself and Essa Lackinen, they both had very tremendous horses, such as EL Titan, that did quite well, and Jangon within the Ontario Sire Stakes series. So those two people, Irina and Essa, and also those specific horses really hinged and got me to where I am today and kind of kept the spark going, if you will. It's always nice to be playing with top horses at Mohawk and being able to learn from those people as well. Rena really had a hands-on learning protocol in her barn. If you didn't know something, it was get your hands out of your pocket and let's go do it. We're just gonna teach you how to do it right now, and you better buckle up and hang on because that's gonna happen. So that was really neat just to have those two people, and I still work with Asalakin every day. Today I work for him, and we do a lot of work together. So it's great to still have that mentor with me, and he teaches me things every day. That's very special. So those would be two people and two horses that really mentored me throughout the harness racing industry, and then really also my grandma and grandpa. They had a huge mentor ability in my career, I guess, if you will, that brought me to where I am today, being able to have the horses at home and kind of be willing to, I guess, jump at any crazy idea that young Cameron had as a 12 to 15-year-old, telling his grandfather that we wanted to train horses. So having the ability to jump on those opportunities was something I'm definitely thankful for today, and definitely was a great stepping stone along the way.
Is there a role for education, and particularly continuing education? Are we learning more today that can be helped by that?
Oh, yeah, I think that's definitely a easy standpoint to stand behind, is that no one's ever done learning. Like I said, everyone has their mentors. I think even the top professionals that I look towards and that younger generations will look towards in the industry, towards those mentors are obviously had a mentor and had education behind them, if that was just from their mentors or from education levels such as Equine Guelph. So having that education and being able to scientifically state why we're doing things, or if we have different practicality behind ways we're feeding, as opposed to just saying, yeah, we've done this for the last 40 years, it's how grandpa and dad did it. Well, that's all changing now. We have a lot of opportunity to be using technology in the industry. We have more technology being used in the breeding side and on the racing side. So I think there's definitely lots of room to be learning, which really brings me into that continuing education aspect, which no one's ever done learning. We can learn from many different people, and that being one of them being Equine Guelph is a great opportunity to be learning from, and kind of being some great discussion with fellow colleagues in the industry and also from different industries such as the dressage industry or the thoroughbred sectors.
What was your first course then, and how was that?
The first course I did was the equine genetics course. I always had, like I stated earlier, a passion for the genetics. Just being raised on a breeding farm, we were always looking towards that. So I found some great interest in the equine. I think it was the 12-week, the full course that I completed, the genetic one. And then that also led me into the nutrition course, which I did at the same time. And both of those just, they really hinged where I was going in the industry and gave me a lot of different insights and different ideas that I could bounce off my mentors and other people in the industry, of saying, why are we doing it this way? And why couldn't we be doing it this other way? So I think definitely
Mhm.
having that education, no matter how old you are, really allows you to look at things at a different point of view. You may not agree with it, and that's fine, but I think that's part of learning, is knowing all the different opportunities and options, the way to be feeding, as opposed to just doing it the way we've always done it, which may not be wrong either, but we can always be improving, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Any last hints or suggestions for those that want to get involved in the horse industry, and particularly in the racing industry?
People tend to look at it as a closed door industry. You have to be involved family wise or have a contact, but really that's not the case. And like different platforms such as Job Track and things like that, it really opens the doors towards a lot of people. And even just reaching out to individuals like myself or different individuals in the industry, like we're all over social media. Just send us a message, and there's some way that we can get involved, because really the harness racing industry and the racing industry in Ontario is really a great employment for anyone that has a true passion behind horses. In great demand as well. There's always need for more grooms and great grooms. So I think really not to be scared, just to reach out and just give it a try. Like I said, get your hands out of your pocket and let's go visit to the track or a training center and just see what you think of it. So
Thank you, Cameron, for sharing your experience and your insights with us today. It's been most appreciated, and we wish you all the best in your career in the racing industry.
yes, thank you, Gail, for your time. Thank you.